Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Monday, the 26th of December 2022. Thanks for joining me. I want to use the Tarot Grand Lux for today's reading. Let's see what these cards have to say about Monday and what energy you'll be working with. This deck is by, I hope I'm saying this properly, Ciro Marchetti. He's done quite a few decks, including the Gilded Tarot, and he's got a very specific, unique style. Out of all of his decks, I like this one the most. It's kind of realistic and medieval and colorful here. Right, so let's see what these cards want you to be aware of then. I'm just going to shuffle these cards a few times and choose 3 to see what's coming up. Right, so the first card is Justice, which has appeared a lot lately. The 10 of Wands. And the 6 of Swords. Oh, that's interesting. Wow. Okay, so we've got Justice, which is a major arcana card. I always call it the cause and effect card. What you put in, you get out. Kind of the karma card. The 10 of Wands and the 6 of Swords, those are minor arcana cards, so these are temporary influences. So the big thing that you can rely on this day is that what you expect from a situation, you're likely to get. And specifically, what you put into something, you get out of it. And I think the Justice card appeared yesterday, so it's a continuation of that theme. So it gives you a lot of control over your experience. If you approach anything and you say, I'm going to bring a lot of positivity and love and joy and enthusiasm, it's very likely that you'll get that in return. We've got a sword hovering over this part of the scale. Swords is the element of air that governs your ideas, your thinking, your ability to decide and to communicate very well. And then we've got feather, which a feather, which I would also associate with the element of air. So it's very much to do with your thinking and the way you see things in your life. The feather, I would say, is also a symbol of freedom. And at the bottom of it, we've got the feather being used as a pen here. So obviously the message that comes to mind is the pen is mightier than the sword, even though they're perfectly balanced. So the strength that you've got is in terms of your ideas and saying, actually, I see it this way, and that's why I'm going to do it. So there's a steadfastness in your ability to assess your life, your circumstances, and to decide on your own. It's very important, to feel that sense of conviction at times, because if you constantly listen to other people and what they think is right, you can be like a candle in the wind and be blown from one side to the other and never really commit to anything. So the Justice figure in this card, she's dressed in red. Red to me symbolizes the root chakra and your connection to earth. So you're very able to make decisions about your own life, your own future, and feel good about that. And that's really a wonderful feeling to have, to feel this absolute certainty is, it doesn't matter if I'm right or not. This is important to me. It's important for me to take certain steps or to realize these ideas or to write my novel or my experience. I feel it's important, therefore I'm going to do it. So it's very simple in terms of it is, therefore I can. And that's very empowering. And with the color red, if you give yourself the chance to express your ideas here, it's likely to have the expected outcome in a real world physical sense. So if you say, do you know what, I do want to write this short story and publish it so that other people can see it, and you take those steps to do that, it's very likely that the story then will appear on a website or in a journal or a book that other people then read. 11 in numerology is also the master number of service. So you can really help yourself out here by honoring your own ideas, your own perspective, and moving forward with that. But what's interesting to me is that she's got this red blindfold on. And the red blindfold would say that her current circumstances are either blinding her and influencing the way she thinks, or it's that she's ignoring her current circumstances and she's completely focused on these two things, listening to you, and that's the message I'm getting more, because the ocean down here, I feel that you're not going to take your existing circumstances as set in stone. And what's even more real to you on this day is the way you feel and what's going on for you internally. So that then signals that you have a freedom from your actual circumstances and that you can create something new. You know, if you want to be productive, sometimes you've got to shut off the outside world. Otherwise, you can't get anything done. And that's what the Justice card allows you to do on this day. So if you want to be productive, that really helps you. Next, we've got the 10 of Wands. That's the highest card in the suit of Wands. And Wands is fire. That's a masculine element. And it's similar to the color red here. It's about your life purpose and passion. And here you can see a man who's carrying so many wands, 10 of them, that he's really just buckling under the weight and he can't make any progress. So it's actually wonderful, this connection of these two cards, because Justice, I mentioned a moment ago, is not looking at her circumstances. So she's able to prioritize what she's thinking and what she wants to create in future. She's not so interested in carrying absolutely every idea and getting so bogged down with all of that that she can't make things happen. So what I'm getting via these two cards is that you can be very productive, that you can edit, that your priorities are in order, and you can focus on one or two things that you really can make some progress with, and you're not at risk of letting yourself become overly burdened. So there's a sort of lightness. Oh wow, and she's even floating. So there's a lightness of ideas, there's a sense of freedom, and there's a feeling that, hey, I don't have to manage absolutely everything in my life right now. I can take a moment for myself to kind of pursue the things that I'm passionate about. I mean, even the dog here is looking at this man and saying, what are you doing? So if you feel like you're overly burdened, then, you know, edit a little bit and just give yourself time to think and to breathe and to say, I'm just one person. I don't have to build Rome in one day all by myself here. Finally, we've got the Six of Swords, and it's pretty easy to interpret via the image. The Six of Swords is about a journey. And usually in the regular tarot, it's a woman and a child sitting in the boat, and they've got this gondolier pushing the thing along, and they're both shrouded, and it seems kind of like they're either escaping a situation or they're moving like in secret, and there seems to be some sort of threat involved or a sense of urgency. Here it's very different. We've got a woman who's looking very proud and elegant, but then we've got someone here who is looking much more glum. And swords has to do with, again, ideas, thinking, and they're coming out of the water sort of as a threat. And that's the relationship here. I'm getting that this isn't a very happy employer-employee relationship. So the card in this case is warning you that you may be treated less than perfectly by others. You may feel bullied or hard done by. There may seem to be things in the world that loom large and are threatening. I was going to say, you know, they're easily avoided if you're moving the ship along, but the guy is looking over there. So there may be some things which are genuinely important that you need to look at, but then there are other things that really you don't have to engage with. It's none of your business, or it's not a real threat on this day. So with this card and this card, prioritize what feels difficult and challenging. And again, don't feel the need that you have to resolve absolutely everything. The key thing here is to keep moving, and that's what I mentioned via these two cards. Look at one or two things that you're passionate about, move forward with those. That's what's going to help you to avoid some of these dangerous waters. And because it is, even though it's the element of air via swords, they are crossing a body of water. So using your intuition, same as here, that's really what's going to guide you in the right direction, allow you to avoid difficult circumstances, but keep it maximum at one or two things which you're passionate about. So I want to, I don't know, go exploring for the day and visit somewhere I haven't been before. I don't really want to resolve the relationship with my boss. That seems too volatile on this day. what is it that gives me a sense of pleasure in a real world sense? So that says creativity and really pursuing things which bring you a sense of happiness rather than tackling all the most difficult things. And if you do tackle difficult things, also edit and do 1 or 2 things, not absolutely everything that's problematic in your life. Number wise, we've got 11 and 10, that's 21. And 6 is 27, right? 6 and 10 is 16, and 11 is 27. 2 and 7 is 9, and 9 in numerology is the last number, and it's about completion, spirituality, and the end of a cycle. So you're able to finish something off and start something new. So finish one thing, start one other thing. Again, don't try and resolve absolutely everything. It would be too much. And with the number 9 being there, it's saying that actually by editing and by keeping it simple, you can get something out of your life once and for all. But if you're completely diluted in your focus and you're trying to get rid of absolutely everything, then you won't make any progress and you'll be like this man here. So the key is to really get organized in terms of what you're pursuing and to keep it very simple. So I hope you have a great day. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on book your reading to audio reading with me. And if you like this video, then give it a thumbs up, please. Hit subscribe and share the video online. Have an amazing day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.